Hi guys, welcome back. Thanks for coming by. Today I wanted to bring out two decks. One is the Vedic Astrology Deck by Armstrong, and the other one is the Oracle médiéval et Merveilleux by Julien Miavril. I took French for 5 years, but clearly by my pronunciation you wouldn't know that. So, kind of different topics, like, as you may or may not know, Vedic astrology keeps pulling me back. It's not like anyone that I know is really interested in it or studies it, but I've always loved everything about, like, visually, symbolically, and words, and I'm just very curious about why the system still exists and how it helps people, and how people, a lot of practitioners who are like Vedic astrologers or Vedic astrology practitioners do not necessarily believe in the system. They just practice it and they just read people's charts for them, which is interesting. I guess it's kind of like you don't have to believe in air to breathe, to know you need it. I don't know. So I have, again, gone through back and forth with Vedic astrology, and there's a lot about the languaging of things, which I don't agree with, which I don't think is healing, which I think is actually pretty harmful, which is probably why it's lost a lot of its popularity in these last couple of generations, and especially with, I would say, Indians my age in India, and especially with, first generation, second generation in the diaspora. But there's still interest, especially with yoga, and I don't know, just like people are interested. I guess like they're intrigued like I am. So the deck is interesting. I'd never take it out, but I thought that if I were to really sit down, because it does warrant respect. It does take a lot of time to learn. The attributes of a chart are simple, but it's in the culmination of everything that the secrets of the universe, I guess, or that the real power comes from, is everything in relationship to each other. So the way that this deck, did I show you this already? The way that the deck is structured is, it's broken out, oh man, it's broken out into like parts. It's not an oracle deck. It seems to be more of a learning deck. So it's the body types, which, if you're familiar with Ayurveda, it's the body types. And all this is relevant to Vedic astrology. Then you have the gunas, which are the modes of nature, which every planet has. This is the back of it, and this is the front of it. So each card has like keywords, and which again I think is a bit too reductivist. And then these are the bhavas, or the houses. The back of the card shows you a chart. This is a North Indian style chart. And keywords. So 12 houses. And then you have the elements, back of the card, in relation to the chakras. Keywords. Then you have the planets, or the grahas. Graha means to grab, which is really cool because it's like all the planets, they're individuals, but they all are required to exist in a system and are somehow reliant upon one another. Yeah. Then you have the signs, the 12 signs, the 12 star groups. That's the back. So the signs move, but the houses are stationary. Planets move, but the houses are stationary. So that's how the deck is structured, and the guidebook is really cool. It's actually a really cool study book. It shows you, like for instance, it gives you the periodic table and what element, what foundational element covers each of the periodic elements. So it's really interesting. I like how these connections are made. Again, not a fan of the keywords because I just don't think they're entirely accurate. Also, I do understand that in order to become proficient in the system, or probably any system, spiritual or otherwise, you have to know. It only behooves the learner, whether or not you agree with it, to learn the characteristics, just so you know, so there's not like scope creep, so you know what something signifies, which is probably really important when you're looking at 25 other things interacting with it to get more of a like a nuanced and accurate reading. And anyways, I brought this out just because I've been doing some of my own work on this stuff, and I want to know if any of you guys have it and what you think of it, and if you've had any experience with Vedic astrology, either in a sidereal form, which some will argue is the only form, or in the tropical form. And next, I have this oracle. And I've already tried filming this once, but I don't know, it didn't go very well. I didn't really have the correct question. This is a French deck, and I love the art. These are the backs. And the art is just, the colors, really, really cool. I don't know if it's like based on like, is it Gulliver's Travels? It seems very Joan of Arc to me. And I got this because I think it was on Marine, her channel is Marine and Soul. I don't know, I have to like find it. But she is, she lives in the Canary Islands, I think, like off the coast of Europe, and she's French, and she goes through all kinds of indie decks, and now I think she dedicates some of her videos to French only decks, and so this is how I found it. And game. I mean, that is so cool. I want to be this girl. I want to look like her. It's the coolest. I love it. So I'm just going to pull a card because I've had kind of a very uncomfortable day. I feel like I'm pushing my boundaries in ways that are making me hide in secondary emotions like anger. And so making a video and going on YouTube in general and looking at other people's videos really makes me feel relaxed and happy. So that's what I wanted to do. And I wanted to see why, like, you know, I woke up in kind of a state of panic, which I tend to do. And I know it's like, it like lives in my body and it's old. Like I know it's probably from childhood and whatever over time. And it's really interesting because I think it was actually Bob Proctor in one of his videos, the Proctor Gallagher Institute. Again, I'm self-help, personal growth junkie. I read and watch all kinds of things. he was saying something to the effect of how the central nervous system is the most complex electrical system in existence. And I would agree with that. I just, like, my sense of panic, like, I think just having that, and just the little things that had to happen over time for your body to kind of create this feeling, which a lot of us can relate to. Like, it's so fine-tuned, and I don't know, I'm just like totally amazed by our bodies, like either vibrationally or energetically, how our bodies are so resilient. But like, if you train it over time to be a certain way, especially a lot of us do it so unconsciously, it's just doing what it's trained to do, and it's still trying to help you survive. It's like, it's the coolest thing. And I don't, when we're doing our days and we're out and about, it's so easy to externalize all these things. And so when I hear things like that, of what Bob said about the central nervous system, it just rings so true. And it helps me remember how amazing our lives are and our bodies are. So with that notion, I want to tap into the panic that I was feeling this morning, and hence probably where that secondary, which probably made me feel very anxious, and then very self-judgmental over the things that I had to do today, and resulting in some anger, not necessarily directed towards anyone, just also stemming from fear, and nothing crazy happened today. So I just want to tap into that panic and just see where she's at. I'm like, girl, what are you doing? Where do you live? Why'd you come out today? What's your story? So that's what I'm gonna do. And this is all in French, so I'm just gonna do it intuitively, and it may not match the keyword. I'm just gonna look at it visually, and that's what I'm gonna do, because like the boss that I am, I run everything on my phone. Nothing fancy here. So that's what I'm gonna do. And 2 cards flipped out, so that's what we'll look at. The first one is this one. And this snake, or this serpent figure, is in nearly every single card. Oh, this is dope. Remède, which I'm guessing is remedy. How cool are these images? They're just so cool. I can see my panic definitely stemming from some sort of old injury that's been compounding over time. And it kind of gets out of control, and it kills the essence of who we are, because sometimes I feel like, depending on your level, your panic over time, or how your central nervous system has responded to your life over time, can stop your life eventually if you don't get help, if you don't remedy things, if you don't have experts around you telling you, giving you some sort of framing around what's going on, it can really feel like all the good things, because of that. And if you're unconscious of those things, of that panic, and you haven't been on a healing journey, it can feel like good things can't happen to you, or it can make life feel very difficult. And, you know, that's not the case. I mean, knowing about it is very powerful. So then you can put it into context and enjoy your day without that extra bag of rocks to carry. Now with the remedy card, like today I had appointments, like, you know, all in the journey of my healing. And I think that this is what this card is speaking to, is that no matter what, your body's always trying to tell you something. And like with panic, it's not a negative thing. It's not a great thing. It's just a thing that's developed over time. And that healing is possible. And when you're ready to look at it, to bring it more and more into your awareness and into your consciousness. And, you know, with the appointments that I had today, that's part of the remedy. That's part of the secret potion. And it's not to like, you know, like make your panic bad or whatever. It's just to like, it's like so they can almost exist side by side to a certain extent. But it's also a way to kind of like alchemize, which is what this tells me, to alchemize the energy of that panic, because it's no longer necessary. Like, I'm safe, I was going to meetings, I was just doing my day, and I can tell my body that that we're healing, that I'm safe, and that we can use that energy for something else to help us enjoy our lives. So, what a card. I love it. I love this deck. So, anyways, this was a bit of a ramble, but I always have fun coming on here, just as I love watching a lot of YouTube videos, tarot tube, planner tube, self-growth tube, psychic tube, all kinds of things. And anyway, so thank you, and I hope you're all doing well. And if you feel like it, let me know if you have these decks and what you think of them. And oh, this is a cool one, A12. Star. Yeah, let me know, and I will see you next time. Bye.